Do you have weak handles? Coach Jesse Minch with Get Handles. Today I'm gonna show you the quickest way to get dominant handles. I gotta kick this video off with some tough love. There's no excuse for you to not have good handles. And I'm gonna tell you why right now. Try getting 1,000 jump shots up in 30 minutes. Think you could do that? Probably not. Think you could get 1,000 dribbles of a combo or an inside out dribble or whatever move you're trying to work on? Absolutely. You could dribble the basketball and get more repetitions in than pretty much any other skill with the basketball. And on top of that, you can dribble pretty much anywhere. I've dribbled on grass, cement, gravel driveways, laundry rooms, you name it, the list goes on. So there's always somewhere to dribble. If you can't find a place, I think you're just making excuses. You gotta get the practice in, number one. Now I'm gonna give you some more unique secrets and tips throughout this video to help you get more out of that practice, but you have to be getting in that practice every day. I tell players 10 minutes every single day. That's what the Handle Geek's all about. Being a handle geek, you gotta get your 10 minutes of dribbling in every day. Doesn't have to necessarily be intense. Could be just sitting down and like I used to sit in my basement, watch TV and dribble the basketball while I was sitting just to make sure I got my 10 minutes in every day. And next thing you know, a lot of times if you get in the gym, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours could go by and you'll be getting a lot of practice in. But 10 minutes a day should be your minimum. Next big thing, if you have weak handles, maybe it's because you have weak handles. And what I mean by that is maybe you're dribbling the basketball real weak. A lot of times I see players that don't have good handles and it's because they're like almost afraid to dribble the basketball. They don't want to put any intensity behind it. Give the ball some good pop on the dribble. Now, if you watch the best NBA players, a lot of times they do kind of float the basketball, but at the very last second of every dribble, or I should say 90% of dribbles, they're gonna get a good pop with the wrist. They're gonna snap that wrist hard. So at the very last second, even if it's more of a float type dribble, there's gonna be that pop. That is what keeps, number one, defenders from being able to rip the ball so easy, but number two, will make your moves that much more quick and controlled because you're directing the basketball where you want it to go. You're not just dropping it and hoping it goes where you want, and it's not going super slow so the defender can rip it. Give it some pop. It might take a little while to get the feel for that and get comfortable with it, but once you do, it's gonna feel like a piece of cake to control it with that next hand when you go into a crossover, or the same hand if it's a regular dribble or inside out dribble. So you gotta make sure you're starting to get that into place. That's gonna help a ton. Next big thing, you probably don't have very good ball control, right? So to get your ball control up, you have to be able to control the basketball with your hand in all kinds of different positions on the basketball, okay, all around like that, in different areas around your body, and you have to be comfortable going into different moves and comboing them, right? So one of the best things you can do for that is to click the link down below. Go to gethandles.com otherwise, but the link is Get Handles. I'll send you a free workout, but on top of that, secrets that will help you instantly, like today, improve your ball control. You put those in place, instant improvements in your ball control. So click that link, pop in your email, I'll send that to you right away for free. But those key points, getting comfortable with all the different hand positions, transitioning between them, being comfortable with the basketball in all areas around your body, and going into your combo moves will help you a ton. So what do you think you should do with this tip? Practice it, right? Put it into place. Me telling you it is one thing, but you actually putting it into practice and working on all these different hand positions and all that's gonna help you a ton. One other big thing is get a high ball and hand time. So what that means is on every single dribble, try to maximize the amount of time that the hand is on the basketball or one of your two hands. So this is low ball and hand time. My hands are barely touching the basketball. The lowest possible would be slapping the basketball, okay? High ball and hand time is pushing the basketball. Notice how right now, almost every single second, one of my two hands has the basketball. There's just a brief second where one of the two hands doesn't have the ball. You gotta start maximizing that if you wanna have better control over the basketball. Okay, and then this tip is gonna help you with the first tip and pretty much all the tips really, but it's to get a good variety in your practice and practice things that work. It's kind of two things that tie in with each other. You want to make sure you're keeping things fresh, interesting, finding new things to work on. So number one, it'll keep practice interesting, so you keep coming back to the court and practicing because that's how you get better. But on top of that, the more you find new ways to work on things and new things to add to your game, it's going to expand your skill set. It's going to expand what you can do with the basketball. Now you don't have weak handles anymore because you can do a ton of things. So if right now all you're comfortable with is regular dribbles and crossovers, maybe you should start working on some advanced versions like an inside out into a crossover, or maybe inside out behind the back, okay? maybe start going regular dribble between the legs, regular dribble between the legs. When that gets easy, level up, level up, level up. And then the same thing can be applied also with drills, right? Maybe you are really good with your inside out and crossover. Maybe you bring a tennis ball into the mix, or doing it through some cones, weaving through some cones. You know, bringing a heavy basketball in to make it so it's harder to do the dribbles because the basketball is heavy and it gives you a little bit of resistance. So there's a lot of little things you can do like that. You can bring agility ladders in to bring footwork elements in. So those little things can help level it up and take it next level and expand what you can do and help you focus on certain areas of your handle. But then the other key point is that you want to make sure what you're doing is helpful, that it's going to, apply to game situations. There's a lot of kind of gimmicky type drills that will use a lot of the equipment I just talked about, tennis balls, cones, agility ladders, things like that, and really won't do a lot for your handle. You want to be using those tools in a smart way, and even the stuff where you're just using the basketball in your body and the hoop, you want to make sure you're doing that in a smart way. You can practice a lot of bad habits, and then those bad habits become habit, and now it's hard to break out of them. So you want to make sure you're practicing things that work, things that are going to help. So 2 things you can do to help with that are going to help you a ton. Number 1, subscribe. Get on the notification squad so you can catch my newest videos. I'm going to give you a lot of things that are going to help you expand your skill set, expand your game, and get you some strong, dominant handles. Number 2, click this link right here. Again, that's that free workout that I'll send you. And I'll also email you secrets to help you take your handles next level very quickly, show you the best ways to practice and new things to practice so you can expand your arsenal of moves, expand your skill set, and make sure that what you're working on works.